Hello everybody and welcome back to a new episode of NASCAR Heat 5 on the channel. Something a bit different today where we have modded NASCAR Heat 5 content. Well, that's no different on my YouTube channel. Of course, if you've watched my career mode series, it's modded like crazy. But we have Lightning McQueen here versus Jackson Storm in the 2021 Daytona 500. I thought, you know what, we're just going to mess around here on NASCAR Heat 5 for this upcoming Daytona weekend. And we brought out Lightning McQueen, which I am behind the wheel of here today in the 95 Lightning McQueen Toyota Camry, and we are going up against Jackson Storm in that next-gen car, the 2.0. That's actually towards the front of the field. What I did is I replaced Denny Hamlin's car with that car for this race here, as well as I actually added a bit of a sneak peek of upcoming career mode content in here. You're going to see some of the new paint schemes coming to the career mode based off of the 2021 season here. Just a few of them, like Alex Bowman as well as Chase Elliott, which is currently unfinished, though I should mention. But we come through down this back straightaway. It was a bit of a poor start here for Lightning McQueen here as it goes down towards turns 3. And just the main goal, of course, to beat Jackson Storm and potentially pick up the 2021 Daytona 500 victory. As you see, the draft gets very important as it comes through 3 and out of 4 up the inside of the 7 of Josh Bilicki going down this front straightaway. See drivers like Martin Truex Jr., a little bit of contact with the 66 of Timmy Hill there, went to go up the inside, and unfortunately Timmy actually was able to hold off the 95 there as it goes down towards turns 1. You see the rookie this season, Chase Briscoe, and then number 14 High Point Ford Mustang right there on that outside line, as well as you see a few of the modded cars from my career mode, like the McLaren cars were driven by Eric Jones in that number 02 on my outside currently here as we go down the back straightaway. I only did a 13% race for here in Daytona, so stage 1 was 7 laps, stage 2 is going to be 8 laps, and then the final stage is about 9 laps or so. Now as we're behind the number 5 of Kyle Larson, who returns to NASCAR competition, of course, in just a few days here in the Cup Series. Now as we go down this front stretch up into P26, so up inside the top 30 there, move to the outside of the 5 of Larson, a little bit of contact, you saw the 5 get sideways, he makes a good save there as we go down this front stretch, closing in on the back of my very own career mode car, and that number 24 Razor Camaro there, that green and black combination looks so good now. Feels a little bit weird being behind it and pushing it and seeing it on the track other than myself driving it, of course, but we would make a move up the inside and put Lightning McQueen now up into P21 here as we came through past the halfway point in this first and opening stage to the right hand side of Christopher Bell. There you see one of the new modded cars that will be in the career mode next season right there of the 48 of Alex Bowman. That scheme was made by one of the community members of Vixen now, as he is very popular in our Discord server here as we go down this backstretch. A beautiful looking paint scheme in real life and in the game as well. Jackson Storm currently was running up there in the 2nd position, as here we are with Lightning McQueen down in the 19th spot. Bubba Wallace in the 23 there just in front of us here as we came through 3 wide between Alfredo and Bowman there, the rookie on the outside of us as he came through at a 4, though McQueen clears Alfredo down the front stretch and continues to try and move his way forwards. But within the final few laps of this first and opening stage, you can kind of see here with McQueen trapped on the outside, makes it a little bit difficult to make anything happen here as it goes down towards turns 1. Now Christopher Bell back up the inside, so definitely not the first stage that we're looking for, but at the same time we definitely gain a lot of track position here, setting us up well for that start of the 2nd stage here as we go down this back straightaway 3 wide with Almirola in the 10 as well as the 48 of Alex Bowman here as we go down this back straightaway and nearly clear of the 10 but can't quite make it happen. There's some contact into turn 3 now as they come through the center of the corner. McQueen into the outside wall, loses some ground there as he drops outside of the top 20. He's going to get down in front of the 8 of Tyler Reddick, who gives him a huge push from behind. And now as they approach the final lap in stage 1, Joey Logano, the 2015 Daytona 500 champion, leads away at the end of this first stage here on this final lap. Jackson Storm, though, up in the mix there in the 2nd position here as we go down into turn 1 behind that 10 of Almirola. Finally an opportunity, though, for Lightning McQueen to get back down to the bottom and re-enter the top 20 here on this final lap of stage 1 up the inside of the Hendrick Motorsports driver of Kyle Larson and to the back of his teammate of William Byron for this race, we could call it, or we could just say that's myself right there on the track, Gary Owen. Now as we go down into turn 3 behind, you got Michael McDowell in the number 34, then the 10 of Eric Almirola on the outside of him as we came through the center of 3 and 4 for the final time in stage 1. Jackson Storm now falls down to P3. Daniel Suarez in that 99 Trackhouse car in the mix, but down the front straightaway, McQueen going to be able to get into the top 20 here for the end of this first stage, setting himself up pretty well here for the start of stage 2. Of course, it says my Steam username there instead. That's just the way the game works, unfortunately, in just a race now mode, so you can't actually see Lightning McQueen on the order. But either way, P17 for McQueen here in Stage 1. There you see Chase Elliott's 2021 paint scheme right there for a moment now that you will see in the career mode. That one is not finished yet fully, but I will be, of course, putting the finishing touches on that one here in the coming days now as we get ready for the next season of the career mode. But now Stage 2 is underway, and for the start of Stage 2, we're going to get to hear the raw sounds here of the gameplay as we go into Amped. Lightning McQueen up into P13 here with 7 laps remaining in Stage 2. Still a lot of time here to spend for Lightning to try and make something happen against Jackson Storm, who continues to run up front. 3 wide right here between Bubba Wallace and Alex Bowman, but he is able to clear them, get up to the inside of that 88 car as we exit turn 2. Right to the back of Chase Elliott, 3 wide up the inside of him. Now that's that 9 car is actually one of the schemes I have actually made myself. I have put it upon myself to try and make paint schemes myself for the career mode here in the future, and I'm really proud of how that 9 one is coming out so far. Of course, like I said already, not finished yet, but so far what has come out of it I'm very happy with as we come through out of turns 4. Still 3 wide with Chase Elliott, the defending 2020 Cup Series champion here as it go down this front straightaway at the line side by side, but McQueen enters the top 10 with 6 laps to go here in Stage 2 as it go down into turns 1, but Jackson Storm still up there in second place behind Joey Logano. He would end up getting to the inside of Joey Logano as we would continue to climb our way forwards with McQueen. Now up inside the top 5, passing the 1 car into turns 3, and Jackson Storm would take the lead. I would maintain on the inside lane and eventually get up to P4 and then go with 3 wide here with Ryan Blaney as well as Kevin Harvick and try to move up into P2 behind Storm, who leads the race here as it go down into turns 1 and 2 with now 4 laps to go in Stage 2. We get a nice push there from behind from the 1 car that allows myself to get clear for second. We jump up behind Jackson Storm here down the back straightaway. 2 rivals from Cars 3 are now about to battle it out here for a potential Daytona 500 victory later in this race. But of course, before we have to determine that, we got to determine the end of the second stage here, as we would love to, of course, overtake Jackson before this stage ends. We come through to the final lap now of Stage 2, still right behind the 2.0 Toyota Camry here as we go down into the corner right to his back bumper here. As they're behind us, we got the number 1 car of Kurt Busch as well as the 99 of Daniel Suarez here as we go down this back straightaway. In the career mode, that 1 car is actually Noah Gragson here as we go down this back stretch, pushing Jackson Storm as much as we can. Now, as I was looking to maybe make a move up the inside to decide, we're going to let him get a bit of a gap here, and we're going to try and build up a good run on the exit of turn 4 to put McQueen up to the top of the board here for the end of the second stage now, and maybe cycle out Jackson Storm to the outside for the next restart. But it wasn't quite enough of a run here as we go down the front straightaway. We do get a run though. Look to the outside, but Storm throws a block coming to the line. Jackson Storm holds off McQueen for the Stage 2 victory. So P1 and 2 for Storm and McQueen there in the second stage. Anthony Alfredo actually would round out the top 5, but to round out the top 10, Todd Gilliland there now as we would get ready to go green for the third and final stage here in the 2021 Daytona 500. It's going to come down between both Jackson Storm as well as Lightning McQueen. Perfectly done there at the end of Stage 2 by Storm to hold on to that Stage 2 victory here as we get ready to take the green flag in the third and final stage here. And the 2021 Daytona 500 is underway. Less than 10 laps remain, 9 actually, as we get underway there. As you can see, that 2.0 Jackson Storm car, that's another modded car that I designed myself there. I was able to kind of find the design on Google and then just kind of implement it into Photoshop and make that paint scheme. And I was pretty happy with how that one came out. It was pretty easy to slap together. But either way, we cleared the 2.0 Storm car just about, but not quite able to do it. So he gets to run at us here on the inside down the back straightaway. So it's going to be side by side here for the lead between McQueen and Jackson Storm. I got help from the 99 of Daniel Suarez, and there you see the one car behind Storm into turns 3, but now as we go into the corner, we have a bit of a disadvantage here being on the outside, so I try to get on that right rear quarter panel to side draft Storm as we come through on the exit of turns 4. A nice push from Suarez here and that 99 Trackhouse car, their debut here in the Cup Series this weekend. We're going to come through though to complete this lap of stage 3 and move up into P1 clear of Jackson Storm. I drop down immediately in front of him. Suarez, he goes to my outside. He's going to try and take the lead now from myself here, as I felt a lot more comfortable, of course, putting McQueen on this bottom lane. And now it's going to be McQueen and Storm bumper to bumper as they exit turn 2, linked up down this back straightaway. A little bit of a tandem draft here in the final 8 laps of the Daytona 500, side by side with Daniel Suarez for the front position as we go down towards turn 3. Storm stays committed to the back of the 95 into the corner now, as he actually is going to push the 95 of McQueen up out of the groove, and that allows Storm to go back to the lead here in Daytona. And now being stuck on the outside, we got to get McQueen down as soon as possible here to get another opportunity to go at Storm and win this race here. 3 wide behind us, Timmy Hill, Daniel Suarez, Anthony Alfredo, all involved in that. Logano just behind Timmy Hill, but we would come through out of turns 2 now in lap 24 down to P5 down the back straightaway. Desperate to get McQueen to the inside at this point. We get a big run on the back of Timmy Hill. I cross over to the left. We actually clip the 22 of Logano. He goes sideways, spinning behind us. A big incident into turn 3. The big one strikes. And the final laps of the Daytona 500. Suarez up and over, actually, through the infield, and the caution comes out. That was 100% my fault. I was just desperate to get to the inside, and unfortunately, we destroyed a bunch of cars, including Joey Logano and Daniel Suarez. So now McQueen and Storm line up here on the bottom lane, bumper to bumper now, as what could be the final restart is underway, but it's a very bad launch for us in the 95, controlling McQueen. So now all of a sudden, we are dropping positions very quickly. Bowman goes by on the right side. Timmy Hill was able to get clear. BJ McLeod in the 78 as well. Daniel Suarez, who just went up and over, and even Joey Logano, who we just cleaned out, is all going to get past us. So we drop down to P8, maybe even P9, as Chad Fincham as well goes by on the outside. I immediately start blocking the outside and the inside to make sure we don't lose any more ground, because we're coming to the final 3 laps of the Daytona 500. And if we want to put McQueen in victory over Jackson Storm, now we're going to have to be on a mission and get very aggressive. And immediately we dive to the inside of Fincham. Now 3 wide was Suarez as well as Logano into turn 3. And Jackson Storm still out front, leading the 1 car in the mix, and the 48 of Alex Bowman up there in the mix as well, looking for his first Daytona 500 victory. And now as we were to the back of the 78, we tried to look to the inside, some contact with him, but then as we came through out of the tri-oval, I would actually get to the inside of him as we went down into turns 1. When I got into his back bumper, the front end of my car actually lifted off the ground. It was a little bit concerning there, but fortunately we kept the car on the ground now as it came through out of turn 2. Now up into P3, passing the 1 car now to the left-hand side just about of Alex Bowman. Couldn't quite make it happen there. I didn't have enough momentum to actually get alongside the 48. So now, as we approach the final 2 laps of the Daytona 500, up the inside of the 48 of Bowman, we go in. We will pass him and move into P2 behind Jackson Storm here in the final 2 laps. Bowman there in that 3rd position, but we're going to link up here with Jackson Storm as we come to the center of 1 and 2. A little bit of a gap between himself and I now as we come through out of the corner, but now with a lap and a half or so remaining, we look for the right time to potentially line up a move on Storm. We could make it right there, but I didn't feel like we would be able to fully pull it off there, so I decided we're going to stay in behind Storm and wait to the final lap to put McQueen into victory lane here as we go down into turns 3. Behind us, it's still Bowman in 3rd, Logano down there in that 4th position as we exit turns 4. Jackson Storm, Lightning McQueen P1, P2, but of course we want to put McQueen up there in P1 here as we come through to start the final lap of the Daytona 500, hoping that that 48 of Bowman is going to help us enough here on this final lap to make the move. Now as you see behind, Logano in the rear view mirror moves up to the top, but he actually gets back down to the bottom, but I leave a gap between McQueen and Storm there so we can build up a really good run on the exit of turn 2 and line up a move down the back straightaway. Sure enough, we get the run. We try to fake Storm to the right. We look to the left. Storm throws a block down to the double yellow line there, so he holds us off once. We try once again to go to the right. He throws the block. We lunge to the left-hand side. This time we get up the inside of Storm as we go down into turn 3 on the final lap. McQueen versus Storm for the Daytona 500 victory. An iconic rivalry, and out of turns 4 we get help from Bowman, and sure enough we get ahead of Jackson Storm as we come through down the front straightaway, and Lightning McQueen comes through to steal the Daytona 500 victory away from Jackson Storm. What a finish here. What a Daytona 500 in general it was, where we unfortunately accidentally caused the big one earlier. That was very unfortunate for drivers like Joey Logano as well as Daniel Suarez, but they still got good finishes out of it. But here we are picking up the victory for Lightning McQueen over Jackson Storm. Honestly, when I started the race. I did not anticipate it actually coming down to a race for the victory between them two, but we managed to actually get that, and it worked out very well for us here in the 95 Rusty's Toyota Camry. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, you do know what to do. Of course, the IRL Daytona 500 on this weekend here, Sunday, February 14th. Very excited for that. Would love to hear you guys' picks for that race. But before we end this episode, I just want to say thank you real quick to the Going Racing members of MJ, Aiden, James, Joseph 9001, RJ, Timothy, Bubba Jr., Illinois Diecast, Devin Roth, Eric Chouette, Matthias Hansen, as well as Movement. As I always say, you guys help me out a lot, and I'm going to be putting all these names on my career mode car here in a few races in the career mode in the future, so I'm excited for that. But thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch this episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.